Good morning. Net Impact 25th Annual Conference. Amazing. Congratulations. Welcome. I'm Seth Goldman. I'm the co-founder of Honest Tea and the executive chairman of Beyond Meat. And this is my 24th annual consecutive Net Impact Conference. Ironically, I missed the very first one. I was in my first year in business school. We had like a family event, and so I missed it. But what happened was a bunch of Yale School of Management, thank you, a bunch of Yale School of Management students went to the conference. They came back. They were so excited and so passionate about what they heard that they passed that on to me, and it set me on my way. So you all bear an important responsibility, not just, congratulations for being here, but then to make sure you go back to your schools and spread what you're going to be experiencing over the next 2 days, because it's an amazing experience, it's an amazing opportunity, and you deserve a lot of credit for just making it here. I know you got a lot going on, a lot of other competing priorities, not to mention financial challenges, so being here is a big step, and congratulations. One of the projects that's going on this week is we're putting together a time capsule, and so I have to share my own 2 personal contributions. The first is an original bottle of Honest Tea, 1999 vintage. And then the other is a t-shirt from a conference. Net Impact's, before it became Net Impact, was called Students for Responsible Business. This is the Students for Responsible Business 1996 conference. So the t-shirt is going there. The t-shirt is older than many people in this room. So to give you, I want to talk a little bit, before I introduce our keynote speaker and panel, I want to just give you a sense of how far we've come as an organization. And so there's a lot of different ways to look at it. Certainly one is to just think about the fact that 25 years ago, about 50 students gathered at Georgetown from about 17 schools to sort of understand, could we create an organization like Students for Responsible Business. Today, here we are 25 years later, over 2,000 students from over 300 schools, all we know what this is about. This is just giving us that extra boost, that extra charge and inspiration to bring this to scale. Another way to think about how far we've come is just looking at what happens in 20 or 25 years. So I'm delighted that my 20-year-old son, Isaac Goldman, is here in the audience as a participant. Isaac, you here? Give a little shout out, wave. I think this is our first multi-generational conference, so fun to see what can happen in that time span. Another way to look at it is what happens to a business. So it was at the 1998 conference that I introduced the idea of a company called Honest Tea. And now today, Honest Tea is owned by the Coca-Cola Company, carried in over 130,000 accounts, launching internationally. And next week at McDonald's, the Happy Meal will be including the Honest Kids juice drink. That's an applause line. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for organics because the skeptics of organics have said you can never bring organic to scale, and you can't do it in a way that's price competitive. But Honest Kids is going in at the exact same price as the other drinks that are being offered. And then it's a big deal for calories because Honest Kids has 35 calories against what is the existing drinks that have 80 calories. So it's a huge opportunity to help people at an early age start to acclimate their taste buds both for an organic diet as well as for a lower calorie diet. So it's a really exciting moment for us and for our business. I wanted, in the just very few minutes I have before I introduce Aaron Hurst, I wanted just to share with you a quick story, inspirational story that I heard when I was in my first year of Students for Responsible Business. It was told to me by Robert Dunn, Bob Dunn, who was founder of BS, or head, really one of the inspirational CEOs of Business for Social Responsibility. And so, just to help set it up, we want to just to think about, we've come so far as a movement and as an organization, but we have so far to go. And just to help give you a sense of what's the environment we're operating in, one of the indicators I always look at as health indicators is average life expectancy. And so if you were to look at the United States, and it has been looked at, you think about the United States, what should the average life expectancy be of a country that is the wealthiest nation in the history of the world, that has more knowledge of science and medicine and nutrition than any civilization has ever had? You'd think it would be pretty high. But when the UN, they rank every 5 years, they rank average life expectancy. And in 2015, when the latest rankings came out, you had Japan as #1, you had Italy as #2, and the United States was 42nd in average life expectancy. We were tied with Lebanon, which is a country that has 1/5 our per capita income. So You may hear the phrase healthy, wealthy, and wise. So we're wealthy and we're wise in the sense that we have knowledge, but we're not healthy. And to me, that's a tragedy. It's a shame. It shouldn't happen. And all of that, I think, is true. But you can also say that is a profound opportunity for impact. It's also a profound opportunity for growth and for investment. You're buying low and an incredible opportunity to make people lead healthier, higher quality lives. But it doesn't happen on its own. It really is something that can be driven by all of us. So this brings me to our story. So a long time ago, there was a wonderful and benevolent ruler, king, who was reaching the end of his days. And he'd been a very progressive leader, but he worried that he didn't leave a legacy that would help people lead afterwards. And he thought about, as he was seeing the end was in sight, he summoned all the wise men and women of the kingdom, and he brought them together. He said, we've got buildings, we've got monuments, but I really want to leave a treasure that I can pass on to generations, some piece of wisdom. And so he asked them all to put together all the knowledge, all the important ideas in one place. And they went off into the mountains, into this cave, and they sort of worked there for weeks and weeks. And they came back, and they brought in a whole cart full of written works, of books. And by this point, the ruler had gotten weaker, and he said, I'm not going to have time to read all those books. Please just put it all, can you put it all on one page? And they're like, oh my gosh, we put all this thought together. How are we going to do that? So they came back, and they stayed up all night, and they came back a few weeks later, and at this point, the king is just about, he's on his deathbed. He says, I can't read even a whole page. I need one sentence, 10 words. Each word can only be 2 letters. They go back to the cave. They put this intense effort. They come back to the king, and they hand him a piece of paper with that sentence. He reads the sentence, and then he dies peacefully. And the sentence was, if it is to be, it is up to me. And our future is up to you. It's safe to say there's no government that's going to lead us in a better place. Financial business leaders, understand we need to change, but they don't quite know how to do it. And so this conference, this movement, this moment is about you empowering yourselves, empowering each other to help move society in a different way. And it's not going to happen if you don't do it. So it starts here today with what's going on right here. I want to congratulate you all for being here. And with that, I want to introduce Aaron Hurst of Imperative.
Thank you, sir. That was great.